So here we have a sci-fi action thriller starring Tom Hardy's brother? Upgrade, directed by Leigh Whannell, the man that was one of the writers for the Saw franchise and the director of Insidious 3. This movie stars Logan Marshall Green as Gray Trace. He is a mechanic that lives in a very near future where we have artificial intelligence as a normality. We have automated cars, and people have cybernetic implants inside of them. So this is the kind of world we live in, a world where artificial intelligence is very strong. And Gray is a man that doesn't like artificial intelligence. He doesn't like technology. So he is somebody that likes to have a hands-on approach when it comes to technology. He is a mechanic. He works on cars that are not automated. And he has a wife that deals with robotics. She works for a robotic company played by Melanie, I can't pronounce her last name. She played the blue Power Ranger in Power Rangers Mystic Force. And these two have been together for a while, and Gray has this friend that is also into robotics and into artificial intelligence. He shows Gray this microchip called STEM. It is a microchip that can help people if they get paralyzed, helping to create a bridge between the mind and the part of the body that controls your limbs. And what happens to Gray is he gets into a car accident. Then some guys attack him and paralyze him. He gets paralyzed from the neck down, so he becomes a quadriplegic. His friend decides to put STEM inside of him, this microchip inside Gray, and it's an artificial intelligent microchip. It has a voice that only he hears, only Gray hears. No one else hears the voice. The voice sounds very robotic, of course, almost like C-3PO in a way, but not as annoying. Maybe a little more like Jarvis in a way. And he can actually make it so STEM can actually control him completely. All he has to do is give STEM permission, and STEM controls his every movement to the point that when he starts looking for the people that made him paralyzed, he becomes a killing machine whenever he goes after each of the villains in this movie. I have to say, this movie is really good. One of the things I like about this movie is that this movie was made on a very small budget. And Leigh Whannell knew how to use this small budget to the full extent of its capability. And he did a fantastic job with cinematography and the effects in regards to technology. This world feels very real. I mean, it does look very clean, but at other times it looks very grimy, so it feels very real. It feels very close to where we are now, which is awesome. Logan Marshall Green is excellent in the movie. As Gray, his character is done very well, and you can tell when he lets STEM control him that he doesn't like what STEM is doing. When he lets STEM attack these villains, he doesn't like how STEM is using his body to attack each villain, but he lets it happen because he knows that's how STEM has to work. The guy that voices STEM, I think his name is Simon Maiden. This guy did a great job voicing the character, the artificial intelligence. The man that plays the main robotic guy in the movie, the guy that created STEM, he's very good in the movie. I thought he was great. I think he probably would play a good Mad Hatter in a Batman movie, perhaps. He almost looks like the Mad Hatter. And the woman that plays Gray's wife in the movie, Melanie, I thought she was a pretty good actress. I've seen her in Power Rangers Mystic Force, and she was great in that series. And she's pretty good in this movie, even though she doesn't get that much screen time. The main villain of the movie was just pretty much your typical main villain, really. Not much great about him. And one of the things about these villains is that each villain has their own cybernetic implant that makes them different and unique, which is pretty cool. But other times it did feel like a video game where each boss gets more harder to beat, I guess you could say. And the main big boss was the most difficult in a way. But that was one of the great things about this movie. This movie felt like a great video game movie in a way. And the action was done so well. The negatives, though, with this movie is some of the supporting characters, like the main villain, were not developed very well, and there was some shaky cam, but not that much. Mostly when the action was happening, and that's mostly to show that you are seeing things from Gray's perspective, which made sense for the movie. Overall, this is a really, really good film. I did like it. The action is done very well. It's R-rated, so the R-rated action was awesome. And Logan Marshall Green is great in the movie. So definitely check this movie out. I'm gonna give this movie a B+. It's definitely worth seeing. Heck, I might even buy it on Blu-ray. So yeah, definitely check out Upgrade.